Baltimore Ravens on the road at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are 4.5 point road favorites here. 44 is the prevailing total. Ravens escape a game in which Lamar Jackson throws 4 interceptions, and they were still able to win because the Browns can't get any points on the board. And here they go on the road at the Steelers, one of the most inept offenses in the league as well. Brad, this is where I would love to be fading the Ravens. I would love to be fading the Ravens because I don't believe in, I think of all the teams with really, really good records, I think that this is the most fraudulent team that there is out there. That being said, it's really tough for me to pull the trigger when the team that I want to fade them with is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have looked even worse, I think, than just about every other team in the NFL right now. This is a confusing game for me. I kind of want to take the points with the Steelers, but I haven't done so yet. What do you see in this one?
Yeah, I've not had a bet. I would definitely lean to the Ravens. I think a couple of things. One, obviously, TJ Watt is out.
Yes,
and
that's true.
He's been a huge loss for this Pittsburgh defense, which is already 27th in defensive DVOA, even with him in there. And the last couple of weeks, it just looks like they're gone. Like the Chargers, who we spoke about, a struggling offense, they shredded them for 40 something odd. The Bengals last week just had to run the ball. They didn't even really need to throw the ball just to destroy them. So are they running out of gas? Are they, what's going on there? I would say I can also forgive Lamar last week's performance. The offensive line was not well suited to block the Cleveland defensive line. Pittsburgh doesn't have that this week. And then he was also ill. They were talking about him on the plane to Chicago. He was curled up in a ball in the corner, was hallucinating, didn't know what day it was. And Stephania Bell had a study basically showing, it takes a couple of weeks to recover from that. I think we expect more Lamar Jackson, more of what we expect this week. And it should be enough to beat this terrible Pittsburgh team. But yeah, not enough value for me to get involved as it stands.
Yeah, Steven, like I said, it's like I want to fade the Ravens so bad, but it's just if it was another team sitting there other than the Steelers, it might be far easier for me to do. But since it is the Steelers, it's very, very tough for me to pull the trigger. And so I'm not a believer long term in this Ravens team, but I think this week this will just be a sit back and watch for me.
Browns next week, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, you just read my mind, Brad. This is the other look ahead line that I'm betting. I'm betting Ravens -1 against Cleveland in that rematch because I trust Lamar Jackson to get healthier and to look better, more so than I trust either this Pittsburgh offense to look better and the defense look better, or for the Cleveland offense next week to get better with their situation, their passing game. So that's the play I have this week for Baltimore is on the look ahead line and the rematch with the Browns. I mean, you're asking me to bet on a team to cover 4.5 points right now with Pittsburgh this week. That's given up 41 points in back-to-back games. I mean, they got absolutely steamrolled by Cincinnati last week. They gave up 30 points and a half. Like that, I can count on one hand the number of times that's happened in the past couple of years.
Yeah, but the Bengals do have Jesus H. Burrow, though, so there is.
They do. I mean, it's really hard to beat the Messiah and the second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
So I give them, I will say that. But and then before that, they only scored 16 points in a tie against the Lions. So, I mean, no thank you. Hard pass. The Steelers team is not one of the traditional Tomlin teams that we've seen in recent years. So, I'm with you, Brad. That's my angle on the look ahead here for next week with the Ravens.
Yeah, maybe I'll play a Steelers team total under or something like that in this one. Maybe I'll look at something like that. I just want to bet against Ben Roethlisberger and his whatever in the hell he is at this point. Like, I don't even know. I mean, what, 26th best quarterback in the league or something like. I mean,
it's been a soft schedule for the Ravens the past few weeks. They haven't played good quarterbacks, but for what it's worth, since their last 3 games, they are number 1 in the league in drop back success rate defense.